If you like off-roading, you love touring, and you love exploring new places, and you want a bike to take you along for all this journey, there are very few bikes which do that in the market, and one of the few bikes which I would say and I recommend is the KTM 390 Adventure. And this bike got a whole lot better last year, which with the launch of the new version, the Rally or the SW version of the 390 Adventure, with all new setup, completely adjustable forks and the rear suspension, and lot of things which I'll be talking about right now. Welcome you all back to my channel, to the beautiful grasslands of Hydra for the 1 year ownership review of my KTM 390 Adventure. So let's do a quick walk around of the bike and see how it looks. That's the front WP Apex suspension, and you can see the kind of terrain I'm riding right now. That is the beautiful grasslands of Hydra. Check out the drone shots after this. It comes with a bash plate which is half metal and half plastic. I've put in a lot of accessories which I'll come to shortly, and the front is a 19-inch and the rear is a 17-inch wheel. That's how she looks. It's very well designed. Got a very nice Dakar style headlamp look. The KTM bikes in the Dakar, that's how it's designed, and that's how the tank, and coming to the display, ready to race. That's what KTM always stands for. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, also hit the bell icon to get all the latest updates to all my videos. Also follow me on social media. My Instagram handle is Djmahaneet and my Facebook fan page also is Djmahaneet. So stay tuned for this review of the KTM 390 Adventure. Before I get into the review of the bike, a quick talk about the tech spec of this bike. This is a 373cc single cylinder engine, and which delivers about 43.5 PS of power and 37 Newton meters of torque. Enough power to tour here in India with the kind of roads we have, and it has got a complete LED digital meter. So it is equipped with traction control, ride-by-wire throttle, quick shifter, cornering ABS, and a whole lot more of electronics, and of course the famous WP suspension by KTM is fully adjustable on this bike. So the best part of the bike, I would say, is the trellis frame which it sits on the entire bike. It's an ultra lightweight Dakar styled frame, which makes the bike very nimble, easy to handle and maneuver in any kinds of terrain, and you don't get intimidated by the weight of this bike. Another important point, I would say, it has a 400 plus range on the fuel tank, which is about 14 liters, and even I've got up to 500 sometimes. Beautiful range. It depends on your riding styles, but you can get a lot out of this bike, I would say. And of course it's a liquid cooled single cylinder engine with a very good cooling system. Doesn't get very hot like the earlier models. I would say it's a very well designed package as a whole. So coming to the X factor for the bike, which makes it a very important bike, it's a super fun bike. You will enjoy riding this both off-road and for touring, and of course if you're doing the daily office commute to in the city, it's still fun. It doesn't bore you at any point. I've been having a lot of fun in the last 1 year with this bike. Done over almost 15,000 kilometers, 14,000 I think to be precise. In the last 1 year it's traveled across terrains, road in Uttarakhand. One of my first rides when I got the bike, I went to Uttarakhand, did Adi Kailash, the Om Parvat, and Darchula in Nepal. We went across Uttarakhand and did a lot of terrains, off-roading, tarmac, twisties, and of course straight highways. Everything was total fun. My experience with this bike has been brilliant so far. Coming to the negatives of the bike, I'll start with the negatives and then come to the positives. Coming to the negatives of the bike, one of the first few negatives which I saw in the bike is the headlamp. It's a very sad headlamp, very bad lighting. It was just a widespread, no long throw. So I installed the Baja Squadron Pro aux light to add to the light of the bike. I don't do a lot of night riding, but still, if it is late evening, I prefer to have good lighting since I do good speeds on the highways. And another negative which I found it very difficult to ride with is the seat. It comes with a split seat which is very hard and gives you butt sore, and that's why I went off with the KTM Power Part. The rally seat is a single piece, much better cushion and much more comfortable to ride with. And one more negative, of course, you can't do much about, was the low end torque of the bike is very bad. It rattles and doesn't enjoy at low RPMs. Between 4 to 6,000 is the best part of the KTM. It's the mid-range torque, and as you go up higher up in the power band, 8,000 plus, again it loses its power and doesn't really enjoy that. So the mid-range is where KTM is the most comfortable. So coming to the positives of the bike, it's a very light machine, easy to handle, very nimble. You can take it on terrains you'd never expect you to ride. And me coming from a whole lot of adventure bikes earlier to this, my previous bike was the Honda Africa Twin, which weighed over 250 kgs and was a little bit intimidating. And prior to that, I had the Ducati Multistrada, which was about 210 odd kgs, but still it was top heavy and not very well balanced. And before that was the Triumph Tiger, the Tiger XCX, and the XR, which was my first adventure bike. So all of them compared to this, I would say this is a much more forgiving bike. It lets you take you to terrains you would never expect you to go. The only drawback, of course, is the lack of power compared to all the bigger bikes, but somewhere you have to compensate. I'll show you a quick glimpse of my rides from Uttarakhand and all the Himalayan terrains I've done on the KTM. It has performed brilliantly across terrains. Here's a quick glimpse. Continuing with the positives of the bike, one of the best part of the bike, I would say, is it's very cost effective in terms of maintenance compared to all the other bigger bikes. This is you don't have to really think about dropping the bike, something breaking and some maintenance issues. It's not a big deal, as the parts are very affordable, cheap, you would say, and it's always available. That's the best part. So that's one of the reasons I've not put any major crash guards to protect your bike from fall and other things. I've just kept it very simple. How it came from the showroom, the stock bike, I just kept the same, the original crash bar and the original hand guards. Probably I'm going to change it to bark busters, but right now it's just the original parts. So coming to the cost effectiveness of the bike, I would say when you buy the bike, for me it was about $485 on road. That inclusive of taxes and insurance. It came with a whole lot of package which is very affordable. Cornering ABS, traction, cornering ABS with which is off-road and road. It has two modes. The traction is has only just one mode, and it has a lot of electronics. It can connect to your mobile phone, turn-by-turn navigation on the screen. And you have a lot of things on the bike, fully loaded package. at a very cost effective price. Such electronics come only with bikes which are over 10 lakhs, I would say. So at a price of under 5 lakhs, you're getting a lot of things, which is very good deal. Coming to the riding of the bike, as I already told you, it's a total fun bike. You really enjoy riding this bike, except on the low end torque. And saddling and riding off-road also is total fun. I feel the riding position is perfect for my height, which is about 5'11". I don't have any handlebar raises or any other alterations. I'm riding at the stock, however it came at the stock position, and I do a lot of off-roading. I do a lot of touring, about 14,000 kilometers in a year. It says quite a lot about my riding, and I generally use this for all city use, for my daily commute, for highways of course, and off-roading with into trails. And overall it's been good so far, and I've been comfortable, except the drawbacks which I already told you. So coming to the height of the bike, I would say it's about 850 odd from the ground, and with my rally seat it's little more, it's close to 900 which is quite a tall bike for this 400cc machine. And sometimes even I would tiptoe depending on the terrain. If it is a very flat tarmac, then I'm pretty well grounded, but if it is a little on and off kind of terrain, then I would tiptoe, and I would struggle to take it out of parking lots when in between many bikes when I'm reversing. So there are a little bit of drawbacks. If you're taller than 6 feet, it's very comfortable. This is made for European kind of riders. So coming to the ground clearance is about 200 which is quite a decent for the bike of this caliber. I have bottomed it out many times because of the terrains. Obviously when it's really bad terrains, there are boulders, rocks and uneven terrains, there are chances you'll hit something on your underbelly. It's got a bash plate, but I don't know how reliable is the bash plate. You better to go for aftermarket bash plate, which are aluminum based and can take on much more beating. So coming to the fuel range, it has well over 400 kilometers of range with a 14.5 liter tank. It gives excellent mileage. I've got mileages up to 35 kilometers per liter. When I'm aggressive, it probably drops down to 25, but still you get between 350 to 450 range depending on your riding styles, which is excellent for Indian conditions and touring across the country. Coming to the braking, the front is a 320 disc, I think, and the rear is a 230 disc. The front brake is decent. I wouldn't say it's excellent, as it's a single disc, not a dual disc, and it's a brake by Brembo. It's called Vietera. I think it's a subsidiary of KTM, I'm not sure. It has a very spongy kind of feel in the front, not very sharp, you don't get that bite of a bigger bike. The rear brake is quite decent, good for off-roading. I don't use too much of rear brake for highway rides. I use mostly front. And the curb weight of the bike, which is 177 is the selling point of this bike. This bike works on its weight. Like I told you earlier, the trellis frame, which is based on the Dakar rally bikes, makes the overall feel of the bike very well balanced and low ground. The weight is pretty low, so you don't feel anything on the top. So one of the biggest reasons I got this bike, and I waited till they launched this particular model, is the suspension. It has a fully adjustable WP Apex suspension, about 177 travel in the front, I think 177 travel in the rear. Front and back both are adjustable for preload and damping, which is brilliant. On the softer side, when your suspension, you keep it complete 10 clicks to the softer side, it performs very well. I would say it's much better than all its predecessors, the earlier models of the KTM. And one more big thing about this particular model, which is in the early models, is the wired spoke wheel for front and back, which gives you so much more confidence to throw around the bike, make jumps, and really bash the bike. It gives you that confidence. So let's check out the electronics on the bike. It has the following menu: KTM My Ride. It has navigation, phone pairing and audio if you want to connect music through your Bluetooth. trips and data. It has 2 trip meters and some general info on date and battery percent, all that. And rider modes, it has street and off-road, and you can go to MTC and switch off the traction control if you don't want to use it. And ABS has both off and on road. And coming to the quick shifter, you can either off it or on it. Only 2 options. There are no modes. Going to the settings, we have the quick selectors, the Bluetooth, display, clock and date adjustments, the units if you want, kilometers or miles, and the language you want to use, when the next service, all that. Overall, everything is works well with the bike. It can be used with this toggle switch here, up, down, left, right, and set. It has the turn indicators and the horn here, and the flashlight here. This is how you use one switch to start and stop the bike. Kill switch, and that's the adjustable settings for the front suspension. The back is at the back suspension itself. It's a manual adjustment. So let's just start her up to give you a glimpse of how the engine sounds. Since it's a single cylinder, the character of this engine is totally different from twins. That's how it sounds. So how does she ride? How do you feel riding the KTM on road and off road, and of course traffic and the highways? So I'm trying out some off road here in Hesraghatta grasslands. Slushy, very marshy kind of off road. No traction at all. You're losing traction even with a little throttle. But because of the nimbleness and the weight being low, it's manageable for my height and my build. There's no major concern. How is the bike on the B roads and all the twisties? It's brilliant. The Torrance tire gives great grip on tarmac. When you're cornering on the twisties, you really get the confidence. Even in the wet conditions, I really push the bike, and I feel very, very confident on this bike. The overall balance and the way it handles is simply superb. Into the tire, this one comes with the Metzeler Torrance 130/80 R17 at the rear, and also Metzeler Torrance with a profile of 100/90/19 in front. A very balanced tire, can do both on and off road. So for more such reviews, do stay tuned to my channel, DJ Mahaneet, and also follow me on social media. My Instagram handle is DJ Mahaneet, and my Facebook fan page also is DJ Mahaneet. Keep smiling, spread the happiness, spread the joy, keep this world a better place is my message to you guys. Would love to see you. Give me a thumbs up if you do like this video. It helps us creators do more such videos for you guys. So until the next one, it's sayonara, adios and goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned to the next one. Cheers.